Michael Cavnaugh with HERO Hero and HERONEWS.org, and I'm here with Lady Camden, our first drag hero. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and here we are in New York. The Empire State Building's right there, and you came here specifically to do a little video with our friend Michael Cavnaugh, Madam Olga. Yes. Isn't that fun?
So much fun. I've wanted to work with Madam Olga for ages now, and so I've been a fan from afar, and so I'm finally hopped over here to the Big Apple and took a bite of her apple. It was great.
Well, this is great because you can look forward to that video. That's going to be on your YouTube channel, right? And how do we get to your YouTube channel? What is it called?
You can find me anywhere at Lady Camden. You just type it in on YouTube and it'll pop up, you know.
Well, you're fantastic. The ballet is gorgeous. I remember watching you the whole season. It was really great. And a lot of people expected you to win. I did, but how was the experience? Was it really great?
Yeah, genuinely a learning experience. You know, I went in with a lot of like, this is how I should be perceived, and this is how I should get people to see me, and just try to manage it in my brain, like what I was doing and how I was acting, and then, you know, that had to just disappear in the first couple episodes because it's a really crazy environment to be in, surrounded by cameras, just capturing you living and going through, you know, lots of different journeys each and every single day. I know, I just learned to like just trust yourself. Like it's a lot easier if you just trust your instincts, and it was a good learning experience and a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you were a nice girl, but tell me, like,
is that real?
Yeah, is that real? But, you know, there is a lot of cattiness in that show. And did you really make some really long-term friends from the show?
Yeah, you know, we all have shared trauma, obviously. You know, we're going through, I'm just kidding. No, we are really close. I think when you go through something like that. And also keeping it a secret, I think that's really kind of what weirdly bonded us, was sitting on a secret for a long time together. But yeah, I mean, we didn't have a lot of cattiness in our season. I know a lot of people love cattiness, and so some people were missing it from our season. I don't know, I think we were all just like really in it to do a good job. And so we were focusing more on just trying to outdo each other versus like knocking each other to the side. I sort of love to live in a world of like, you know, I could do all that, but also I think it's more powerful to kill them with kindness if ever there's an opportunity to, and let the work speak for itself, you know?
Well, I wanted to ask you a question about costumes because obviously you have to bring all these amazing things, but they do clue you in on what they are, right?
We get an idea as to what's going to happen, but they don't tell us very much. They try to keep us on our toes. Like the goal is to really catch us off guard. And that's genuinely what's more interesting anyway. Like as a viewer, it's more interesting to see people, you know, coming up with things on the spot and just rolling with the punches. They do try to capture genuine responses to stuff like that, you know.
What was your favorite part? Or your favorite moment?
I mean, I'm gonna obviously say my whole Freddie Mercury episode. I know that was your favorite. Oh my God, yes, are you a fan of Queen, by the way? Huh? Are you a fan of Queen?
Total fan. Are you kidding me?
Nice. Yeah, that was my favorite part, just because it was a moment of like, okay, you really have to let go and not give an F, because I felt like the judges weren't paying attention to me. They were just sort of like, meh, she's okay. So I got frustrated, and I feel like when you stop giving an F and you really just let them have it, like it's fun, and like I felt like a different. And my therapist tells me to have a little bit of Freddie in every day. So
yeah, you know, I saw that. It was really interesting because you just attacked that lip sync. It was great. It was masculine. It was feminine. It was kick-ass, and it was rock and roll. And I loved every minute of it.
I have to thank Blondie for that. I mean, like my mom used to listen to Blondie a lot as a kid. When I was a kid, sorry. So. I didn't even have to like learn the words, you know, and there's just something about that song that's just so badass, and it's like, you know, it just like does something to you, I think.
Yeah. And for any of you youngins who don't know this, Blondie did introduce rap with Rapture, and stick by that story.
Right. Maybe you were talking about that before, yeah.
So one of the things I want to ask you is, I saw a video of you guys seeing who won, so that was really touching and seeing it that way, but obviously they filmed different versions so that you can keep the secret. Was that hard for you to pretend you won?
It's definitely the weirdest experience in the world, because, you know, there's an audience there too. So you do, in a way, like experience winning for a few seconds. And I remember in the moment thinking, I'm just going to really try and be present and actually enjoy it and not think about future me getting it or not getting it. I was like, I'm just going to, because this may not ever happen. So when I didn't, so I wanted to really like enjoy it and be like, I'm winning. So in that, you know, 10 seconds, it was it was magical. It was fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, everyone loves the show, and now there's so many alliterations of it. And you were the first, UK person to be on our country, which is really fantastic and quite different. How was the process of getting on? Was it tough, or you only did it one time, or how many times did you try and get on the show?
No, I definitely auditioned I think at least 3 times, maybe 2 or 3 times. Once for the UK version of the show as well, and I thought that would probably be my in, would be the UK version. And when I didn't get on that, I thought, oh well, dang, I'm not getting on then, am I? But the pandemic does a lot for everyone. It shifted everything for all of us, and I think that for me, I had no expensive cool drag, nothing new, no footage of me doing public shows or anything, so I thought, well, there's no chance that I'm gonna get on this at all. But there was something about kind of being well, this is me and this is what I've got and take it or leave it, that I think was maybe why I got on the show. And it is really difficult. There's nothing more difficult than getting on Drag Race.
I bet
when there's a million queens out there too. But
what did you do to stand out in your audition tape?
Genuinely, I'm not saying this to just be generic, but I really did have fun with it. I looked back at the video and I laughed, and I was oh. The other thing too, I remember doing part of my tape, watching it back and going, I would be embarrassed to show my friends this. And I thought, well, if I don't want my friends to see this, then that doesn't make any sense. Why am I not, what am I ashamed of? And I realized it's not me. So I just redid the entire video and just chatted with my friend and made it grounded and normal and who I am. And I think that we can tell as human beings when you're being fake and when you're not. And I think that was the difference.
So I saw you dancing today during the shoot, and you can still do that ballet. You're very beautiful and graceful. Do you miss the dancing as your main focus?
I love dancing. I love to take ballet class once in a while, but when you're not getting paid to do it professionally, you can leave whenever you want. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like. I like going, okay, ow, my body is done here. There's a different pressure to when you're paid to dance. You're doing it, you have a responsibility to show up, right? But I definitely enjoy dancing more now that I'm not doing it for a job. Yeah.
So if you were going to write a resume, what would be your special skills?
I would say I can fit my fist in my mouth.
I have a question about the production, because do you know when you're watching the episode and all of a sudden there's the people are doing comments, but they're doing comments in the same outfits, different shows.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just they pick up comments?
You talking about the interview part?
Yeah.
When I'm sitting there going, it's a new day in the workroom and my ass itches. That one of those parts.
Yeah.
I think it's no secret that we do wear the same outfit, and there's so much we couldn't possibly get that all in one day. There's so much that happens on set. In every day, there's just multiple different things going on. There's people that I don't even meet that are behind the scenes watching us, Big Brother, and I never get to meet them. But you do sort of get glimpses of rooms where there's computers. It's funny, you walk past a room and there's a million monitors, and you'll see people's faces, or the workroom, and they're doing their interviews, and I'm like, oh, I forgot they're watching us. You forget when you're there, Yeah. But we have to do interviews every day, or as much as possible. But you can tell that it's multiple days, because in the beginning, my hair looked really cute. I was really freshly rested, and then when it will cut to one where it's later in this season, maybe, frazzled hair, kind of exhausted, very different vibe, yeah.
One thing I also wanted to ask you is about the productions. When you guys do these group numbers and everything, how much time do you have to put that together? Because some of them are quite elaborate. Do you get a whole week, or do they give you less time than that?
I mean, each one is different. Some of them are definitely more of a challenge, in terms of time. At the end of the season, they're not trying as much to make it easy because it's a competition. And, our final music video, we had a lot less time to learn choreography and all that versus towards the beginning. I think everything's different. Every challenge is different. But the goal is not to give us too much time to get comfortable. There's always a balance of enough time that it's not cruel, but they have to challenge us, so they can't make it too easy,
Okay. So one of the reasons we want to honor you as a hero is because of all the things you do for charity and what you're probably going to do in the future. Tell me about those experiences and why they're so important to you.
Well, I think one experience that I kind of cherish a lot is getting to work with SF Broadway Bears, which is sort of San Francisco's version of the New York Broadway Bears. Of course, it's not been around as long, so it's not anywhere near as big. But, you know, I got to choreograph some numbers. I got to help sort of like, you know, with the storytelling of the show and help with production and stuff like that. And that's just been something that's really fun because in an environment like that, so many people are involved and no one's getting paid. So there's this real desire to like actually put in work and give your time freely and teamwork and all that kind of stuff. Like there's no ego involved. There's no ulterior motive. Like everyone really is just there to show up and to put on a really good show. And that's something where I feel like I can lend what I do to charity a little bit more because it's performance. And I haven't done it in many years, but like, and they do it every single year, but I'm really hoping to get back into SF Broadway Bears at some point.
Yeah. We're very, very big fans of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, so you can go and donate. Please give money to them. They're fantastic. They help everyone that's newly diagnosed. They work with people like us, and they really help the entertainment community as well. So send them a big donation. So Lady Camden, what we do is we help those that are newly diagnosed, but so many people are still getting HIV and AIDS. Do you have any recommendation about safe sex practices and how important it is to be safe out there?
Yeah, of course. I think that, you know, communication is key. Always talking to your partners, even if it is a cheeky one-night stand. Just be honest. Like, are you on PrEP? Have you been tested recently? I think that everyone should be on PrEP if they are having sex, you know, or not regularly, especially unprotected sex. I think just being cognizant of it, educating yourself. There are so many resources in every major city where you can go to, you know, a place and or a clinic or whatever and ask questions. I think that's another thing too, is not being afraid to ask questions when you feel like they're stupid, or ask your partner, you know, what their status is, what's going on with them. Just not being shy of finding out more information and learning. Like, we're all students in this and we all need to keep learning about it. It's not something that you should be ashamed of not knowing enough about.
And you know, PrEP is out there, so everyone should be on PrEP that's sexually active. Okay. Yes. So Lady Camden, where can we find out more about you? Do you have a website?
I have a website, ladycamden.com, and again, you can find me on any sort of social media, blah, 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 on Lady Camden, Instagram, Facebook, Farmers Only, you know, OnlyFans not quite yet, but one day maybe.
That's awesome. So listen, if you know anyone that's questioning, wants to know more information about HIV, or needs help and just found out they are positive, please check out HIVHero.org. We've got you. I want to thank you so much for being here. It was so great to meet you. I'm such a big fan. And I think you're just going to be more famous because you've got it all, beauty and talent. And you're a really nice person, too.
I paid you to say that.
I know. I did. Thank you so much, and have a great time in New York.
Okay, thank you. I will. I can't wait.